Travel accommodations provided by Midwest Airlines, the official airline for Focus on Diversity.
And now back to Focus on Diversity with Troy Shaw.
And welcome back to the program. Let's continue on with our diversity discussion. Convicted. Recently, the Mississippi Supreme Court upheld the manslaughter convictions of former Ku Klux Klan leader Edgar Killen in the slaying of 3 civil rights workers in 1964. Killen was convicted on June 21st, 2005, exactly 41 years after Michael Schwinner, James Chaney, and Andrew Goodman were killed. He was sentenced to 3 consecutive 20-year life terms. Now, I understand this man is now about 68, 67 years old, Mike. And I think this is a long time coming. What do you think?
Well, I mean, again, I think it goes back to some of our prior discussions about the justice system, whether they work. In this case, it took the justice system a long time to work, but ultimately it did work. Mm-hmm. You know, this guy deserved to be convicted, and finally justice has come for those that were victimized by him.
But this is a travesty of justice. Why is the justice system just completely based on, and I guess it is, based on the feelings, regardless of justice, the feelings of the individuals of that time, Chris?
You got to remember in that time, a conviction by a jury of his peers was 30 minutes saying acquitted. So after that point, though,
is that a jury of racist peers?
Unfortunately, probably in that time, yes.
Okay.
Was there an African-American male or female on that jury?
I doubt it.
No. Were they all mostly white males? I believe all 12 of them were. Mm-hmm. So at that time, in that part of the country, I would say it's pretty safe to say the jury of his peers were racist men. Now,
go ahead.
Now, though, you look at what he tried to battle in the Supreme Court, he made the same comment. You would have never have convicted me at that time with a jury of my peers. Yeah. And the Supreme Court said, you're crazy. Now is a different time. There's new evidence. It shows what the justice system finally comes up to. It finally came to the table and said, you are now a convicted man.
What do you think about that?
Well, and Chris hit it on the nail. He said new evidence. Mm-hmm. And at that time also, there was a lot of tampering of the evidence. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of attempt to try to cover this whole thing up so that these individuals who murdered these individuals, Cheney and the others, would not meet justice. So the years that were put into finally getting this individual put where he's supposed to be, and that is in prison, and hopefully dead in prison, was justified because of the fact the evidence was tampered with a lot. And they had to dig up a lot of new evidence to show that this man did murder those individuals.
Have we come a long way, gentlemen? Mike, have we come a long way in the justice system as a whole? Criminal justice for people of color has been just atrocious across the country. But yet this case kind of shows at least the Supreme Court is catching up with the times.
Well, no, I think that our justice system is imperfect because it relies on human judgment. Mm. I mean, you can look at the O.J. case and say that clearly as you can look at this case. Mm. When you have human judgment involved, it doesn't matter if you've got the best evidence, the best prosecutors, the best, defense. It is going to be whatever those 12 people go in and decide on. Sometimes they decide on the law, sometimes they decide on their feelings. Mm-hmm. So it is an imperfect system, but I think it's the best system we've got to give justice to individuals that are seeking it.
Okay, and moving on to the next topic. Filing taxes. Tax day is behind us, and millions of illegal immigrants found themselves collaborating with one federal agency, the Internal Revenue Service, while trying to avoid immigration and custom enforcement. The hope is that a track record of on-time payments will aid their citizenship application. So in essence, we got the IRS basically helping illegal immigrants. Now, there's no reflection on me starting with you first, Robert. But I'm going to start with you first. What do you think about this?
Well, good for the U.S. government to work with individuals who are paying their taxes, and good for these individuals working with the U.S. government to make sure that their taxes are being accounted for. Okay. Being undocumented is to me not an issue. These individuals have been in this country contributing to the economic vitality of this nation. They have shown themselves over the years to be good partners with the communities that they live in. They have shown themselves to be committed to the American way of life. This whole thing that these individuals are committing a crime You know what? Let's get off of that.
They're breaking the law, Robert.
You know, this is
and the
15,
federal government is
16,
sanctioning
17 years.
They're sanctioning breaking the law.
They're 15, 16, 17 years in this country. I think that they deserve amnesty, and I think that they deserve a break and become citizens.
I'm not going to go as far as amnesty. I am very happy to see that they are working with the federal government and want to be part of the United States of America as citizens. Now, as a citizen of the United States, that's part of your duty. Death taxes, right there. But also, you're not legally a citizen yet. Go that final step and go through the process like other individuals who are trying to come to this company as well. If you came over, however the process may have been, go that final step and become a U.S. citizen and work towards that.
Mike, they're breaking the law. They're breaking the law.
That's true.
Okay.
They are. But this highlights the difference, I think, in our society as to how we view certain laws. If you said to somebody, you know, hey, do you fudge on your deductions and stuff on your taxes, that may be breaking the law. I think a great majority of people would admit to doing that. If you say, do you drive drunk? They say, absolutely not. I'm not going to do that. You know, so it's kind of a different variation of what laws do we think are severe enough. But I think in this context, I agree with Chris. I think they're taking a good first step. It is just a dichotomy as to we're helping them pay taxes, and we know that they're here illegally. So it's like they're breaking one law, but we're okay that they're doing this law because it gives us money.
Okay, now I wonder whether or not we would have had this, would we be talking like this if these were all Iraqis and people of Muslim descent? I think it would be a different discussion. And when we come back, we'll have more diversity discussion. Stay with Focus on Diversity. We'll be right back.
Since 1985, Sprecher Brewing Company has been committed to brewing a diverse variety of quality beers and sodas. Along with their commitment to a diverse product, they also have a strong commitment to diversity. Sprecher Brewing Company is proud to be a sponsor of the Focus on Diversity program. We are honored to participate in Milwaukee's great brewing tradition, and we're grateful for the opportunity to present our best to you.